Hello my lovelies, and welcome to today's video. And what I want to do today is get the cover, the file folder prepped, ready for the 12 days of Kitmas, which starts on the 1st, which is next Wednesday. And that's David smashing pots. So I thought we'd make it. Now obviously you have your own folder, make it your own way, but I know there are some of you that have told me that you're going to do buy Tracie's kits, Glad Tidings and the Watercolour Ephemera Christmas kit. And also, if you can get this is rag rolled, handmade rag rolled paper off Amazon, and you're going to make something along the same lines. So I'd already made a start because I needed to plan out what I wanted where on the pages, ready for starting the project, because you'll see as we go along I want certain pockets on certain pages so that the exciting thing that's going to be made every day fits inside this folio. Okay, so our papers arrived. These are the papers, and what sizing you need is, let's and I think I gave you the sizings, but we'll do them again. That's 12, 17 by 12. Okay, and what I've done is I've sort of gently folded it in half, and we need a bit of a fold up here of, let's have a look, 3 inches. So if you fold up 3 inches at the bottom, give a bit of a gentle fold where the cover's going to fit, and this is going to be our outer cover with pockets. Now we don't want all this heft in the middle, do we? So I'm going to get my scissors, excuse me leaning, and we're going to, at an angle, cut. I need to do it a little bit steeper. There we go. Cut in like that, and I'm going to cut a tad more because we've still got a little bit of bulk here. So I want this to be away. Okay, so just adjust that slightly so that you haven't got any of the folded bulk in the middle, and then that folds a lot easier. Okay, so we've got our outside cover, and I've just made a start decorating it with pieces from Tracie's kit, and I'd found this frame in my stash and sort of started decorating it. So the next thing we need really is to measure the pages. Now I've done them slightly smaller, so this is 8, when it's folded, 8 by 9. Okay, so it's 9, yeah, so it's 16 by 9. So we want to cut our pages at that. Now obviously they are, I've got my, and you want a water pen. If you haven't got a water pen, you know, just something that you can, a brush, a wet paint brush, because this is very thick, and if you want that lovely deckled edge you need to really rip it with water. So we've got that across there, and we want it at 9. Let me do it with my pencil first so you can see that. So we're going to just measure 9 along. I mean, you can have them whatever size, but you want to have them a little bit smaller, really. It's a bit hard because that's a really jaggedy edge. There. Rough estimate, because it's going to be, yeah, because I've measured from that up there, I'm going to do this. And then what I do then is just go along with my water pen or your paintbrush with some water on it, and you're just going to wet your line across. I found this the easiest way to do it because you're working with large sheets, and as you can see, my measuring is not the best. Okay, so you've roughly got your line there, and you're going to tear along. Now if you get some resistance, you can do a line on the back as well, but this should do it. Sorry, it's because I'm lumbered with having all this paraphernalia on my arm. Okay, so we're going to, you see how easy it tears, and also if you've got this deckled edge, it lends itself to being inked around very nicely. And I'm going to go along here now. It's difficult when you're doing it around the camera. Excuse me a minute. I'm going to... There we go. Okay, so you need 3 of these. So you want 3. So your original cover, which we've got here, and then you need 3 of the slightly smaller ones. Now I feel that is a little bit, because I did it below the measuring line, so I feel that needs a little bit more, a little bit more off it. So just judge it, you know, where you think. Just get along, water your edge. There we go. Keep your thumbs close together as if when you're normally tearing. It's a lot easier to do when I'm not trying to film it with cameras and tripods and goodness knows what, but I think you get the gist. Don't throw any of this away because it can be a bit pricey. Okay, so there is our cover and one of our inner pages, and you can see it's got this lovely deckled edge that you can ink round. What I'd started doing on here was inking round with Tiled Earth. It's the lovely red distress ink from, it's the Tim Holtz one, Tiled Earth. Okay, so you've got, I want you to do 3 pages, 3 of these large inner pages. And what we need to do then is some of this that we have torn off is going to be where we thread through our ribbon. Now it's entirely up to you how thick you have it, but I find for this size of folio, I think this thickness that we've torn off the bottom of our pages is great, and it's up to you, you know, how wide you have it. So again, just wet down the edge so that we get our deckled edge, and we want 2 pieces that size. Okay, and these are the pieces that we want for the ribbon to go through. Okay, I find it easier if you're wanting to ink it before you put these pieces on. Okay, so we're going to ink round those, and we are going to stick one on the front and one on the back. Okay, so you just want to central it really, so we're 9. So it's 4.5 inches to the centre point of putting that on. Alright then, and you know, you can put ribbon through, you can, it's entirely up to you, you can use eyelash trim, whatever you think goes. Okay, so we have our 3 pages inside, and we have our outside cover with the pockets. Now I've sewn around it, you don't have to do, but I have because I've got my sewing machine and I like a bit of sewing on it, but you don't have to do if you don't have a machine. Right, now the other supplies that you are going to need for this, we need some vellum. And I've got that there. This is what I've got in my stash. This is from Hobbycraft, and this is the Pastels Colour Spectrum Vellum Paper Pad, 120 GSM acid free, and this had 16 sheets in it, and I just think I've written that's my plan for me Kitmas, what we're doing every day. So you do need some vellum. Or tracing paper, thick tracing paper. You know, you can have it doubled over because you're making pockets. You want a little bit of substance to it. Or, you know, you can make pockets out of the kit if you want to. It's entirely up to you. But I've chosen vellum because we're going to stuff it with quite a lot over the 12 days. And I just want to keep the thickness down. So what I'm going to do is, roughly in pencil, I've labelled the pages. I'll get my pencil, it's disappeared. I've labelled the pages just so that I know. Started doing a bit of trimming there with the baubles, look, out of the Glad Tidings kit. I've labelled the pages so that I know, I can tell you what we need to put on it. Okay. So page 1 is the first one facing you. So if first of all we go to the inside cover, and you want 2 pockets, 2 vellum pockets on here, and it's entirely up to you. You know, you can have them slightly thicker than I've got, but roughly 1.5 inches in depth. Because we're putting small things in here, and that's about 7.5. Make sure you don't go right up to this edge. And I know I don't want to teach you to suck eggs, because I think most people, but if there's anybody new to crafting and junk journaling, don't interfere with that edge. It just doesn't fold properly and it causes bulk problems. So I want you to put two vellum pockets there. Don't forget we've got the bottom pocket as well we can use. And then this is page 1. So if you want to label them with your pencil so that, you know, you can re-watch the video to, you know, refresh yourself what you need to put on each page, then, you know, this is page 1 or day 1. Excuse me. Slurp of water. Pardon me. So we want a vellum pocket on here, and this is roughly 7 inches across, and it's about 3.5 deep. Okay. Now I think what might be helpful is if I get a bit of paper I've got some card here that I've finished with actually. So the inside cover, you need 2 pockets, and they are roughly 7 by 1.5, 7 by 1.5 deep. Okay. Number 1, you need 1 pocket, and that is roughly 7 to 7.5 by 3.5. So this one is 7 by 3.5 deep. There. Okay. Just so that, you know, you can, if you want to freeze the frame and screenshot it, you can. Okay. The left hand page is number 2, and we're leaving number 2 completely blank, because what I want you to do is get yourself an assortment of used envelopes, and you need a window envelope. Let me just get one out, and then that's a reminder. So I am rustling. You can hear me rustling. There we go. You need a window envelope of whatever size, it doesn't really matter. I think. There we go. We'll have one that size. But it doesn't matter, you can have it wider. What we're going to do here is we're going to have our pocket on there, a window envelope. So we're going to recycle one of our envelopes. It doesn't matter if you want a wide one, it doesn't matter if you've got 2 windows. We're going to use that on there. Just going to click that on. Let's click that on, and then we know where we are with page 2. Okay. Page 3 is this one here, the next one along, and we've got a really deep pocket here. So this one we've got 7.5 by 5.5 deep. So actually I ought to use a big pen, didn't I? That'd be easier to screenshot. 7.5 by 5.5 deep is this large pocket there. That's number 3. Okay, number 4. Now I've put these on here, and it's a bit of a tip, I suppose, just to remind me what I was doing here and if they're fitted. So on number 4, you need 2 pockets, and they need to be 7.5 and 3 deep. Seven and a half by 3 deep times 2. We are making altered paper clips there. As you can probably see, these aren't Christmas ones. These are ones I've made that I've got in the stash. Page 4. Okay then we go to page 5, and we're going to make a belly band here with some of this that we have torn off. This paper we have torn off our bottom of our pages. So it's up to you whether you put your belly band on the left or the right. You just need to leave a little bit of space, not central, because really we need 2 pockets on here. Okay, so for this pocket, the measurement for this pocket is 4.5 by 3.5 deep for that pocket. 4.5 for 3.5, and then really a belly band. You don't really want this any wider than 2 inches. So your width across there is 2 inches for your belly band. Okay. across your belly band. I'll put that on there. Clip that on for now. That is page 5. Okay, over the page, we're in the middle now, in the middle signature. So this is number 6, and we need to make a large pocket on this page. Up to you whether you make it out some of the kit. Depends how you want to decorate it. I've made it out of the paper, the rag roll paper again. The thing you need with this, because we've got something a little bit chunky to go in, is you need to have a gusset. So I've done the pocket, which will probably be about 7.5. Yeah, 7.5. And the depth of this is 4. Now, that's about the width that you need because of what we're putting inside. So 7.5 by 4 inch deep, and it needs to have a gusset of at least, let's see how much we've put on here, at least 3/4 of an inch gusset. So the gusset is 3/4. We need a little bit of space in there to be able to put in what we want. So let's just clip that up there, and that is page 6. That's my large pocket there. Okay, now then, that's as far as I've got. I think I've got to make some pages myself for the others. Okay, page 7. Page 7. Now we're leaving this one blank. Okay, we don't want too much because we've got quite a hefty piece there. I didn't want anything too heavy there. Okay, leave page 7 blank. Page 8, the left hand side, we're leaving the top blank, but I want a vellum pocket bottom. Okay, and actually it'd be quite nice to put some of this green in. That's really nice. Okay, I want to use my cutter. Let's bring my cutter in. Just make it manageable so that I can cut it out like that. Okay. I'll give you the measurements in a minute when I've cut it out. Okay, that will go nicely. And so we're doing 7 by 3 1/4, or you could have 3 1/2. So that's right, 7 inch by 3 1/2 inches deep for that pocket. Right, I'm just going to put a little thumb hole in this one, I think. Just eyeball. A little snip there. I'm going to use my art glitter glue. You just got to be careful with this that you don't put too much on and it all starts seeping out of your vellum. Okay, and you don't want your pocket made too small either. So what I tend, let me just put a bit more, it's going to have a bit of weight there. Uh-oh, let me just get rid of that with my rubber. You can see that through. Okay. And put my pocket on. And I actually press it down away to the outside of the pocket, because if you do it the inwards, it's going to make your pocket smaller. So just press that down. The beauty of art glitter glue is it dries pretty quickly, but whatever glue you want to use, it needs to be able to cope with the heft and the thickness of this rag roll paper, so you do need quite excuse me, I don't know, I always start croaking and groaning when I'm filming. So number 8 is blank top and then the bottom pocket there. Number 9, again we're going to put a larger vellum pocket across here just for a little bit of variation, and I'm going to rub that out first. I've drawn a bit of a line where I need it to go up to at least, so we'll get rid of that. And let's have a look here. I think just want to cut a bit off that one, and we'll put a larger pocket on there. Okay. I'm not going to put a thumb hole in this one. Sometimes with this pattern vellum it's hard to see which is right and wrong side. I'm going to step it up a little bit. Okay, let's straighten that out a bit. Okay then, 7 by 5.5 this one. Put my lid in my glue. Okay, so that's page 9. Page 10. Now on page 10 we want some corners. Now I thought with this that I would use something from the kit to make these corners, and it's up to you. You can make them triangular, or I thought that you might quite like to make a tuck with these baubles. Now these are the larger baubles from the kit, not the small ones, because we do have some that sort of size. So these are the larger ones. Now that there, I'm going to swap that over a bit because you don't want, we've got 2 reds there. We've got a bird there, so let's put that birdie there and that red. Oh, I don't know. We'll go back to, no, that doesn't look right. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's okay. Right, so these are going to be tuck spots, so we don't want to put too much glue on. And let me move this across a little bit. Now if you like, you can put, again, you can do it with your vellum if you want to. You know, you can make some triangular corner pieces, and generally speaking I just line 2 points up on my cutter when I can get it to go in. Right, okay, so I actually put that point on there and that point to there, so I'm making sure it goes diagonally across to fit a point there, and make sure that your point is exactly on your cutter. Now that's not quite big enough, but it just shows you that if you want to do them like that, you can have them like that. But I just thought it'd be fun to use these baubles because they're fabulous, aren't they? I love them. So I'm going to rub this out first. Rubbers are not as good as they used to be, I don't think. They soon go hard on, I think, really, and they don't rub brilliantly. Right, let's get rid of that. You can see the rag paper, you can see the actual rag bits coming out, can't you? As I rub that out. Okay. I'm going to have them. This might be a little bit. I don't want it to be right near the top. Which is about, I'm just doing it about like 1/2 inch from the top there. Now, if you want to ink round them, you can. So I'm going to do a third, I'm going to glue a third roughly, you know, roughly a third across the top that I want to stick down. And again, you need heavy duty sticking glue because of the rag paper. I'm really loving this rag paper. I've got all sorts of things that I want to make little booklets and all sorts with it now. Now I've seen it. Okay. And let's just put a little bit of pressure on there a minute. So for example, if we've, let's have a look what I've got cut out here. I've got one of Tracie's snow globes here, which I think are fabulous. We're going to tuck something that we make on day 10 into there. Okay. But so it's entirely up to you whether you do the corner ones or whether you use something from the kit, but I think these look really nice. It's a fabulous kit. It's there's all sorts of possibilities. I mean, you could do the full 24 and not run out of ideas with it, really. It's just that last year we found filming 24 days in a row, doing the full countdown to Christmas was a lot. It was a bit much. Okay. Sorry I'm not chatting much, but we've got to concentrate on this, haven't we? Well, I have. You know, I have to concentrate or else I'll be sticking them on the wrong way. I don't want to get my pockets wrong because this is going to be helpful when we come to do the every day. I'm looking forward to it. It's exciting. I've ordered an advent calendar so that we can open that every day. It's not come yet. I'm you know, things are starting to slow down again in because of the lead up to Christmas, and I don't know the other parts of the world, mainly Europe, I would say. We're having a few problems, logistic problems with deliveries. There is a shortage of lorry drivers at the minute here in the UK, and I think there are parts of Europe that are suffering the same. So hopefully it will come ready for next Wednesday. If not, we'll have several to open at once, won't we? We're not doing crackers this year, guys. Thought we'd have something different for the crackers. We got rubbishy things in them, didn't we? Rubbish prizes in the crackers last year. It was fun, but rubbish prizes. Right. No, I've glued. See, I'm talking. I've started talking, and then as soon as I start talking about non-craft things, I've glued the wrong bit. Oh, right. I'm going to stick another one on there. I'm going to stick another one on there, because you know what I've done, don't you? I've glued the top, and actually if I've glued the top, it means that this is going to be upside down, the bells. So it's the bottom third that we need to glue. Right, I'll not talk about anything else. Just going to cut round this because I've added another one on the back, so that mistake's soon altered, but still. So bottom third, remember at the bottom we just want to glue the bottom third, not the top third, or else it'll be, our image will be upside down. My glue's gone across, flirting across the room. Right, bottom third. That saves trying to rub that glue off, I've decided, because it does get messy. Okay. Bottom third. Okay, and then the same with this one. Because we need plenty of space to tuck in what we're making. Rub my line out. So you haven't got to do all this because you won't have pre-planned it. You'll be faffing about rubbing out. Okay. There. There we go. Let's put my stopper on. Good job, I'd started cutting things out, isn't it? And I've got some spares. So there are my tucks for, and let me put a bit more down on here. It's just coming up where I've had to back it. Where I've had to back it to cover up my mistakes. That's it. A little bit of a white edge I want to cover up there. Also, we're having the pick jar. You don't need to send any in because there's 12, at least 12 in the pick jar left over from Tuesday sewing. So it'd be interesting to see what that brings. Right, number 11. And let's have a look on my number 11. Okay, so number 11 you can leave blank. So that is number 11, and then the last page on the left is number 12, and we do need quite a deep vellum envelope on here. And let's have a look now. What colour? Oh, that's nice. That's very nice, like a grey colour. And that will be perfect for what I want to put in there. So I'm just going to, it's easier to fold it in half and trim it so that it fits in this little this, because I can't, we haven't got space to be getting the big cutter out. Okay, so in actual fact I'm going to leave it that deep. It's not anything too heavy that's going in number 12, but it's the depth more than anything, and that will be great. So let me rub this out. Could fast forward it and rub and not put this bit out, but it's a lot more work for David to have to keep editing it and cutting and slicing. So okay, so glue around the outside of the pocket again. Okay, just a little bit up, I'll smooth that out. Just hold that down. Okay, let's measure this one for you. So we've got the 7, and this is 5.5. So this one, it's a bit bent, this bit. I'm not going to use that bit. I've got another bit of card. I've got an envelope here, so that will do me. So 7" by 5.5 deep, and that's the one for there. Let me just check that I've put your other ones in. Wait a minute, let me just check this then. Yeah. Right, okay, and then we've got that pocket there. So I'm just going to do a quick flip through of sizes again for you, so that if you miss them and you're jotting them down, or I'm going to write these on so you can screenshot. So 7" by 1.5. So you need the front inside pocket, two pockets of vellum 7" by 1.5. This is day 1. So the front page facing you is day 1, and day 1 you need 7" by 3.5. Okay. Day 2 you need a envelope with a window in it. Day 3 you need one big pocket, 7.5 by 5.5. Day 4, 2 pockets, 7.5 by 3. Day 5, we're putting 2 things on here. We're putting a little vellum pocket here, or in fact you could use a scrap if you want to match it into your belly band. You can use a scrap of your rag roll paper. This pocket here is 4.5 by 3.5. And then we've got a belly band You don't really want it wider than 2 inch, so 2 inch across. That is day 5. Okay, day 6, this is our deep gusseted pocket. And you want it 7.5, I'll move it up there a little bit for you, 7.5 by 4 inch deep with a 3/4 inch gusset. And basically you just fold it round and then miter the corners, get rid of that bulk. Okay. Number 7 we're leaving blank, you'll be pleased to know. Day 8, leave it blank at the top and then a pocket at the bottom, 7 inches by 3.5 inches deep. On the right hand side, day 9, 7 inches by 5.5 inches deep. Day 10, we need 4 tuck spot pockets. And if you have bought Tracie's kit, Glad Tidings, these are the large baubles that we've stuck on. 1/3 for the top 2, glue 1/3 at the top. For the bottom 2, 1/3 at the bottom. Don't do what I did. 1/3 at the bottom. Number 11 is blank. And day 12, we've got a large pocket here, nice large deep one, and that is 7.5 by 5.5 inch deep. And we've got our back pocket, back inside cover. Now I've got this really lovely red grow grain ribbon from last year. I think it came round, came wrapped, Christmas parcel came wrapped in it, I think, one of these foodie hampery things. But use whatever ribbon or tie closure that you want. I mean, you don't have to do this style. You can, you know, you could put eyelets in if you want and use sari ties, sari silk. But I got this in my stash and thought that looked lovely. So it's getting nearer, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments below or send me an email. And this will be the folio for the 12 days of Kitmas, which runs from the 1st to the 12th of December, and it will be my design team project for the lovely Tracie, using her kits, Glad Tidings and Watercolour Ephemera Christmas. And I think I've got some a kit from last year as well. I'm going to get that out because there's lots of lovely labels and numbers and things on that. Can't quite remember the name of that one. Okay then, thank you so much. See you next time.